Alright, I just finished reading The Grandees, written by Stephen Birmingham in 1971. And this is all that's left is the cover, because I was ripping pages out. This book was falling apart. There we go, it's all apart now. It has to deal with a Sephardic elite, the Sephardic Jew, which is a particular kind of Jew, and he takes us through the history of them. And this book apparently is better than Our Crowd. And I have to admit, I really like this book. I read a previous, Jewish-related book, kind of almost historical, pretty much historical, called Crossing California. And I didn't like that author at all. That was written in 2003, and it just dealt with the late 1970s life in Chicago for Jews up until Reagan. And Reagan, the election of President Reagan changed it all. But yeah, that reading was terrible. They had to give every detail of what the person was wearing and smelt like and were thinking when they're talking, and it's really dragged on. But this was very interesting. I mean, this guy covered before the time frames before the Spanish Inquisition, when the Jews were living really comfortably and well in Spain, which is where the Sephardic elite developed, and then up until maybe the 60s, since this was written in 1971. And he didn't really talk in broad generalizations, which is great. He would pick a story for a time frame and stick with it. And he really liked mysteries and, I want to say murders, but I think that's similar. I think I was going to say something else. He really liked mysterious stories, okay, and just people who did amazing things. But you read about the Spanish Inquisition, and it was a move against the Sephardic Jews. All right, the Jews really were treated badly, and in similar fashion to later how the Nazis treated them as well. Yet we only focus on Nazis and not the Spanish Inquisition, which lasted a lot longer. All right, the Jews, according to this book, really their religion seemed to really revolve around business. Okay, trading. Like, I was reading this other book, the Lewis and Clark Journals, and the Indians, one tribe that the Lewis and Clark came across, the chief said he was asking for sympathy because he had no traders. Okay, American Indians tended not to have traders. They tended to be more warriors and just, that's it, pretty much, hunter-gatherers. But the Jews really brought out strong trading skills. Like, they would trade everything and anything, even slavery. They were in it, no problem. If there's money to be made in the trade, the Jews were a part of it. And I'd have to read their religion, the Bible, to see, where are they getting such strong inclinations for trade? Because Jews have a way of trading, and it doesn't matter. They have no more. They have morals, but that's just like for slave trading, they weren't like actually on the. They weren't actually looking at the. Or they weren't actually being the slave owners or anything. They were just a part of the trade. They were doing the trade deals. They said something like, leave it to the lesser. There was a word. They had a word for non-Jews. Oh man, leave it to the non-Jews to do the slavery. We just in it for the trade. That's been a lot of what the lifestyle of Jews is. That's even like a lot of their discussion is just talking about trade and what they trade and what the prices are and what they think they can get. It's such a big part of their language. It's really amazing. And for it to just be focused on religion makes it really fascinating. It's a religion to take time to study, to see why how they developed such strong trade from that. You ask, how did the Jews end up in America? How did the Sephardic Jews end up in America, and where did they go? Well, they explain that, and it's quite a tale. They were trying to escape the Spanish Inquisition, and pirates picked them up on the way, and there was a lot of redirects. But the Sephardic Jews did spread in New York, like Chicago, the major cities, New Orleans, and I found it kind of humorous how they're talking about how the New Orleans Jews were getting sloppy in the practice of their religions and stuff. And you really don't hear about Jews in Louisiana. And it was from early on, they were losing their morals, and I don't know, maybe partying too much, or just being sloppy with their trading skills. Okay, you get sloppy with your trading skills, a little bad luck, and you lose your fortunes. Okay, and of course some did. One guy entered the military. Levy. I found it very interesting with Levy. I forget his first name. Stephen Levy. He changed the corporal punishment in the 1800s. They used to flog people, and he stopped that, and he protested against it. He became a captain or on the ship, and he wouldn't issue any orders to flog people, and that is kind of cruel and inhumane. So for him to change that, it's heartening to read. And that was a Jew, and apparently people in the military were not very favorable of Jews, and he got court-martialed like 5 times, and they couldn't make anything stick, but the underlying reason was they were court-martialing him because he was a Jew. But yeah, I take away that there's a strong trading skills set that really seems to focus a lot on this religion.